I need to ask you a question. Be curious, drifters.
Amelia's duel hits the front. Immature is coming right away for Damien Oliver.
Bella Nipotina, and boy, doesn't she deserve this.
The Giga Kick's got a strong kick.
Golden Mile, soar out the mile. I'm thunderstruck over the top. Mr. Brightside has won the mile.
And Militarised blows them away in the Champagne Stakes. And she's a class act, pulling right away Prowess. And Zoo Gotcha won it by 2.5.
Zaki joined by Animo, who looks destiny in the face.
Tell you what, we're going to do something a little bit different this episode, drifters. Because as we sit down, it's Wednesday, 5 p.m. AEST.
No D in there.
No D in here. So we're going to preview the Caulfield Cup as the barriers come out. So we're a minute or two away, according to the Racing Victoria communications. But can they be reliable?
Look, how reliable are they?
Yeah, and that's the beauty of what this essentially is, a live podcast.
Yeah, and if it doesn't go to plan, it doesn't go to plan, drifters. No. You know, we've tried to change things up a little bit, keep things fresh, new, shiny, sparkly.
Yeah.
Okay, so we don't know the barriers yet. There was a fantastic post by you during the week, mostly because it was, you know, up in lights was the great people at Neds, right? Your futures ticket. Sometimes we take the good people at Neds for a bit of a ride, drifters. Without a fight, clearly is going to be your selection in the Caulfield Cup. Without there even being, you know, any discussion, and for good reason. Are you spooked by the barrier draw? What do you want ideally for him?
He's a get-back horse anyway. So potentially, like, the outside would be better than barrier 1. But the thing that is I love about this horse as well is here we go. All right. Sorry. Barrier draw. This is live. Here we go.
We'll find out soon enough, drifters. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Oh, my God. All right. Who was that? Let me go back a little bit. Hold on a second here.
Is the sound going to be coming through or not?
No sound. Because
so we're going to.
We don't have the rights to that. All right, here we go. Caulfield Cup Carnival Barrier Draw. So presented by those people. Barrier 1, Valiant King. All right. So barrier 2, West Wind Blows. That's good for him.
Great for West Wind Blows. He'll go forward.
I think Valiant King should be up there as well. Bois d'Argent for Annabelle Neesham. So he's drawn barrier 3. Barrier 4, Emissary. So he ran a decent race last year. Already ran third in the Melbourne Cup, I think. So Breakup, the Japanese horse.
Japanese form, barrier
5. So he should be up on the pace as well. Solcombe, barrier 6.
Barrier 6, that's absolutely perfect.
Barrier 7, without a fight.
That's perfect as well.
What did I say to you on Sunday? I wanted barrier 7.
You want a barrier 7.
Barrier 8,
Who ya mal? I said to Sneesby Racing, Solcombe, barrier 6, Who ya mal, barrier 7.
Wow.
I was very close. Barrier 9, Montefilia.
Where's Gold Trip, barrier? Oh, Spirit Ridge, barrier 10. Where is Gold Trip going to draw? And are they actually going to run? It's been a bloody circus this week.
There he is.
Barrier 11. It's like we've got a bloody script in here.
Yeah, look out. This is bizarre.
Akita Sushi, number 12. Don't know about that horse.
Yum Yum Sashimi.
Yeah. Right you are, barrier 13.
Good honest horse, but a grade above here.
Bit sticky. Barrier 14, Duke de Sessa probably needs to sting out of the ground, which he won't find on the weekend. Barrier 15 for Francesco Gardi. Just a barrier trial heading towards the Melbourne Cup.
I think so.
Barrier 16, Fame, my guy.
Your guy, Fame.
Tough from there. Barrier 17, United Nations, last week's winner. And barrier 18, Goldman. Now, he's not going that well either.
The shitter of the golds.
And the nonconformist has drawn 19, will come into 18 after scratching. So I'm just going to pause it there. So let's have a look here. First thoughts, West Wind Blows draws the best.
Big winner.
Barrier 2.
Big winner.
No work. Jamie Spencer on board, 54 kilos. That's a sensational draw for that horse. I think Breakup's good as well. Damien Lame, barrier 5, so I could even see West Wind Blows on the fence leading, break up off its hind quarter there. Sulkin misses the jump by 2 lengths anyway.
He does, but you'd still want him to draw single figures. Not 1, but I think anywhere between 5 and 10 you'd be stoked.
Yeah, agreed. And tell you what, Goldman, he'll probably, they want to ride that horse. I'm just trying to think of this speed map on the fly here. So Goldman will probably kick up from out wide as well. Probably 3 wide. We'll probably start that 3 wide line.
It's good that there's been some speed drawn out, drifters, just at first glance, because
Spirit Ridge as well.
Yeah, you're more likely to get a truly run race. Who you Mal out of gate 8, he'll roll forward. He'd be in the first third, you'd imagine.
Valiant King will kick up as well, I think.
Yeah, okay. What about sashimi?
Sashimi.
What's its pattern?
From the replays I've seen, so the one that I watched had Ryan Moore in the saddle, back. Gets belt worse in midfield. So barrier 12, I'd say will be around midfield, maybe slightly worse off. I'm just looking at the horses around him. So Duke de Sessa, Francesco Guardi. He might try and get on the back of Montefiore, I reckon. If Nash is the type of jockey that can get Monty into the race.
That's a good draw for her.
Yeah.
Because Nash can assess his options. He can,
From 9.
Out of the gates, he can try and find a spot. There'll be speed coming across. Yeah, she's drawn well as well. Chris Waller, I reckon's the big winner out of the bloody barrier draw.
Yeah. Okay. For initial thoughts without a fight for me, I'm stoked.
7's fine. You'd want between 5 and 11,
Yes.
probably, right?
Yeah.
And 5 to 8 better than 9 to 11. You know what I mean? So that's fine.
So Mark just gets him, midfield, put him to sleep, find the gaps this horse has a short turn of foot, but my God, is it electric. So over this staying distance, I think he has the brilliance to kind of win the race. But yeah, obviously, I probably would have preferred, West Wind Blows to draw out wide with, say, a Goldman on his inside, so he has to really work for it to find the lead and just hang him out to dry. But it's going to be bloody hard to get past from barrier 2.
Yeah, he out of the Turnbull is the one where you just know you're going to get a race out of him because he's going to sit up on speed. West Wind Blows, he's going to get the distance. So, yeah, I think he's definitely a winning chance. I had a glance at markets leading into the draw, and what do you reckon we're going to get? Bloody $5 or $6 a field?
Yeah, I think so. I think because Gold Trip accepting, that's what stifled the betting for this race.
Yeah.
Because what were your thoughts about that? Because I almost got the impression from the stable that they were like, this horse is going so well. Because Kieran Ma, I heard him on the week during the week, basically saying this horse is going so well that he's actually now a breeding proposition again. Because he wasn't until he won the Turnbull at 2000. If he wins a Cox Plate at 2000 and then he wins, say, Queen Elizabeth at 2,000 metres as well, in the autumn, it's okay, we've actually got a stallion prospect here. Because at the moment, he's probably not as commercially attractive.
Not in Australia. If he doesn't win another Group 1 or doesn't win another big race, New Zealand will snap him up, mate. He'll stand at stud over in New Zealand.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, he's won the Turnbull with a brilliant turn of foot. I don't know. What were my thoughts on it during the week? I didn't really give a shit. What I mean? The Willy Woney, I don't care. You know what I mean? As a punter, do I want the best horses to be in the races? Yeah. So I want him to be in the race, but ultimately, if he didn't accept, I don't care. And I think the trainers and I think the owners have every right to make the decision as late as they possibly want to.
Yes.
That's my thoughts.
I agree. Because you never know with this Melbourne weather either. There could be, if they don't accept, and they could still scratch him if it comes up super firm as well, which I wouldn't be surprised, freshen him, and then the Cox Plate's the final for the prep. Almost.
Yeah. And from what we know about the ownership of Gold Trip, they're not short of a penny. So for them to pay the whatever it is to accept, to nominate and then withdraw him if the deck's rock hard, then they don't give a shit.
No.
They don't give a shit at all.
No.
How's Noel Greenhole, though? So he's in Gold Trip.
Yep.
He's in Francesco Guardi, and he's in Salcombe.
Handy.
3-prong attack.
Jeez. Okay. Let's go runner by runner, I reckon, in the Caulfield Cup.
Yeah, why not? Let me just get that up and sorted.
Because now we can talk about Gold Trip in further detail, you know what I mean? And I'll get the racing.com barrier draw out here as well. So, all right, Gold Trip, Turnbull winner, barrier 11, and let's go a winning chance, place chance, no chance.
Yeah, definitely a winning chance.
Winning chance for sure.
Of course he is, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. We kind of outline why. Thoughts on him on it's been publicised that he likes to get his toe in. So a proposed, good 3 track by race 9 on the program, which is interesting as well. Will the fence be off with, this will be it'll be like the 27th race within a week, basically, that the Caulfield Cup will be raced on. So you actually want to be drawn out a little bit wider.
Potentially.
Will the fence be off? So
typically in a Caulfield Cup, though, you see him fan across and typically speaking, the horses make their run in the middle to outside lanes anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
From what I can remember watching the Caulfield Cup in the last few years, you got Durston through the middle, same as Gold Trip, very elegant, incentivised. They went on the fence.
Yeah.
Incentivised could have been bloody anywhere, and he would have won that.
So, and they typically fan, don't they?
That's what I mean.
There's a ton of gaps, so the best horse typically wins it.
Yep. In the handicap setting, yeah.
So, yes. Gold Trip, obviously a winning chance, without a fight.
Yeah, he's definitely a winning chance, mate. This has always been his grand final. I thought he was good in the Underwood, From where he was, it was impossible to win.
Yes.
And he came home really nicely in what was a good trial for this race. He's a winning chance.
And the form out of the Underwood has stacked up as well. So Attrition has come out and won the 2-rack. Alligator Blood broke their hearts last week as well. So breakup. Any initial thoughts on this horse, or do you want me to take this one?
Oh, look, all I've read about this horse is that he's got that Group 1, Group 2, Group 3 type form from Japan. I think of previous Japanese winners who've won this race, and they haven't been top of the tree over there. So based on that and based on his record over there, he's going to get the distance. We've just seen that he's drawn well. Well, yeah, he's a winning chance.
Yeah, for sure. So basically the form reference that we can take out of this horse is Unicorn Lion, who ran in the Queen Elizabeth against Dubai Honor and Animo. So he finished 12th behind Equinox, who's like the world's best horse at the moment. But he finished ahead of Unicorn Lion in that race that you were talking about. My concern with this horse is when he has stepped up to these Group 1, Group 2, Group 3 races, he's run 4 times since his last win, and that was start of November last year, for a combined losing margin of 37 lengths. So is he up to that top echelon of horse? And Unicorn Lion is the one that I'm really drawing a line to. Potentially there's a couple of the internationals that I'm looking to a bit closer.
Yeah, look, he gives me Murder Glass vibes, who won the race, obviously, but I just don't know enough about him to back him.
Yeah,
purely that. I know more about the Australian form, and I think it's not like there's others in the field who aren't a massive winning chance who haven't been running here for the last couple of months.
Yeah, absolutely. Montefilia, barrier 9, were absolutely dominated in the Hill Stakes. It was her first win in about 18 months.
In a while. Nash, Drifters Take Note, is actually going to be riding at 55 kilos, not at the 54.5 that's listed. Based on her performance in the Hill Stakes, she's going to run 2,400 metres. She's run 4th in this race the last 2 years. And she's under the care of Chris Waller, who I think can get a couple lengths more out of a horse with no disrespect to other trainers. I just can see her winning this race. You know what I mean? I would not be surprised for her to pop up and win a race like this. But I'm happy to take her on.
Yeah. Because I'm looking at her previous runs, right? She's actually better weighted than she was last year. So she had 55.5 last year, and then she had 52 the year prior. I initially thought, all right, without looking too deeply into her stats, do you view Montefilia as a wet tracker?
Oh, no, I think she's pretty dynamic.
Yeah. Because like the last 2 runs have been on soft 6s, right? And behind Durston and Incentivize. I think she's a place chance. I can't possibly put her in my numbers.
Yeah, I'm happy to take her on just because I was really against her last start and she showed an electric turn of foot to get past Hu Yamal. But back to a handicap where she's the top weighted mare in the race, even with Hot Nash on. Yeah, you can't like there's so many others that I prefer.
Absolutely. Francesco Guardi, no chance for me just because I think there's bigger fish to fry.
I think so, and again, there's just others that I prefer. You can't fit them all. And from what we've seen from him in the Turnbull, he finished 7th, and there's 3 or 4 horses who finished in front of him who I'd prefer. Keep your powder dry, I reckon, for Francesco Guardi for the Melbourne Cup. But J-Mac doesn't get down to 54 kilos very often, so
he doesn't, does he? And Barrier 15 also doesn't help that horse's chance. West Wind Blows, Barrier 2, obviously a winning chance for mine.
Yeah, he is, because he's going to be in the right spot and he can stay all day and he'll be hard to run past. So, yeah, definitely a winning chance.
Yeah, Nonconformist on the quick backup from, I think it was Barrier 19 for this horse, so 18 after the scratching. No chance for mine.
Not up to these.
Yeah, I think he's a bloody good horse. You'd love to own him, but no, not for me. Solcombe, Barrier 6. Friend of this podcast.
Yep. Yeah, I thought he's definitely a winning chance. Chris Waller's commentary during the week was, prepare for something special from this horse. I think secretly this might be the grand final because I'm not sure that the stable is overly confident that 3,200 metres is this guy's jam. So I would not be surprised if he's fully wound up for this. He's going to need luck. Because you know where he's going to be in the first 300 metres. He's going to be last, probably. I think gate 6 does help his chances, though. So if he can be ahead of a few, maybe the Craig Williams special will get him over the line here. But, he's 100% a winning chance.
Yeah, I agree. I still want to see him on Melbourne Cup Day. I really do. From me looking at how he just hits the line and goes through his gears, it's just like a really nice Melbourne Cup prep for me. Duke de Sessa, no chance for me. Needs cut out of the ground. His runs have been okay, but still not up to this standard.
Yep.
Huya Mal.
Huya Mal. Yeah, I think he's going to be one at double figures. I think of the ones at double figures, he's probably the one that I'm going to have a spec at. Tim Clark, 53 kilos. You know where he's going to be. I think he'll run out a strong 2,400 metres. He was second in the Epsom Derby, where he ran out of his skin overseas. So
Barrier 8?
Barrier 8's fine. He's going to be in the first third. So I think he's one for the multiples, that's for sure.
Yeah, okay. I need to see him win again. Because he's been very good this prep, but he's always finding 1 or 2 better.
6 kilo weight swing on Montefilia from last start.
Yeah, so that's the thing with that horse as well, but not for me here. I think with the greatest respect.
Oh yeah,
no chance. Right you are, no chance for me.
I just don't think he's up to these.
No. And he had a sensational year last year. This season is probably. He had a good run first up but it was a benchmark 100 against the likes of Jimmy the Pear. Different gravy here. Emissary.
Prefer others? No thanks.
Jamie Carr said that this horse nearly went a miss. So, yeah, if he wins, I'll fall off the chair. And John McNeil in the saddle, 52 kilos. No chance. Goulburn, no chance.
No chance.
He's
Can you believe he was like a $7 or $8 favourite in futures for the Melbourne Cup earlier this year?
some of those markets are so toxic.
Toxic futures markets. Like that's if you're diving into that drifters, like take a good hard look.
You
in the
are
mirror.
you are a sicko.
Yeah, you are.
Like
Yeah,
yeah. You're,
masochistic, mate.
yeah, you're really sick. So Akita sushi, the sashimi. What's your favorite sushi dish?
Oh, I love all sushi. I'm like, I do love a basic white guy sushi, like the chicken and afo.
Yeah.
So good. Big sashimi guy. Kingfish sashimi. Like if that's on the menu anywhere, I'm getting it.
Yeah. I like the Wagyu beef sushi rolls where it's like it goes over the rice.
Yeah.
And I also like the seared salmon.
Yeah, yum.
The
Bit
seared
of,
salmon's
bit of
good.
soy sauce. Are you a wasabi guy?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Neither am I. I just don't
Yeah.
like the spices and the thing. I just don't like the flavour.
Nah. Yeah. Because we're spice guys.
I'm a big spice guy.
Yeah.
I'm a Spice Girl guy too.
Yeah.
Love the Spice Girls.
David Beckham.
Yeah, he loves the Spice Girls.
Yeah.
One specifically, haven't watched it.
Well, since Bradley Weston was gnawing our ear off on Saturday about it, I've given it a go. It's actually pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah, he could. Turns out he could bend it like himself.
Good play. And a very good looking man.
Very good looking. Akita Sushi, in other news. So, of the Joseph O'Brien horses, the stable have said that this horse will appreciate the ground more than Valiant King. So he won the Duke of Hastings handicap with 61 kilos at Royal Ascot in June. That was the one with Ryan Moore on board. I think he'll potentially be aimed up at a Melbourne Cup after this. So of the two, although the stable are saying that this horse will appreciate the ground more, I'm kind of leaning towards Valiant King because he's only been ridden around that 2,400 metres, whereas this horse has been stretched out a bit further.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
So, and he's got like, it's got the TAS like silks, but he's vertical instead of the hoops.
Oh, the Autumn Sun from an alternate reality.
Yeah. But
The Winter Moon.
yeah, it's a moon. Look, Fame's going to be 300 to 1. And I thought rightfully so.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there.
Like,
Good luck, Froggy. Good luck, champion.
Like, yeah, I'm sorry, but if you're running 6 lengths to Ain't No Deal Done, who's a friend of ours, yeah, I'm surprised you've even been accepted, to be honest. Bois d'Argent, 50.5 kilos. Beaten 6 lengths in the Metropolitan. Yeah, nah, no chance. I just hope that like the likes of Fame and Bois d'Argent just aren't the speed bumps in the race.
Yeah. No. There's nothing that I find appealing about that horse.
No. Spirit Ridge. So I think it's come back pretty decent. So you look at it, it's been in the top 3 every start around the likes of Benno, Military Mission, and Just Fine in the Metropolitan. So it was beaten, less than half a length to Just Fine in the Metropolitan in track record time. But I'd be shocked if it was featuring in this type of gravy.
Yes, so would I. Yeah, like he has been in great form. So you can't dispute that, but I just couldn't because I'd be so shocked. I think I'd have a heart attack.
Now Valiant King, here's some pretty elite form. So got beaten 1.5 lengths to Vauban over the 2,400 at Nas. So that's your clear form reference for you.
Desert Hero form.
Yeah.
Desert Hero is one of the best horses in the world. If Desert Hero was coming to a Melbourne Cup, he would have been my pick for sure. All I'll say about Valiant King, Northern Hemisphere 3-year-old with his nuts. One of my favourite things to back when they come over here. J Car on 50 kilos.
J Car interesting because
She has not been well.
no, she hasn't. And I could see
Well,
her.
she's been well, but she hasn't been riding well.
I can see her getting a bit teary being interviewed after winning the Caulfield Cup.
Yeah,
I could see that.
she's due. Like drifters, we know Jamie Carr is a very, very good jockey. She obviously has been through it a bit in the last 12 months. So I think that's probably a little bit reflective in her riding at the moment. It's probably lacking just a little bit of confidence, but all it takes is one to bounce back.
Absolutely.
And yeah, he's a winning chance, Valiant King for mine. And plus, he's a good-looking horse.
Yeah.
Have you seen him?
No. Oh, I've watched the replays.
Steel grey.
Yes, I did see that.
Steel grey.
So think of your Carinis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very, very attractive.
Yeah.
Like Classique Legend before he started fading a bit.
Yeah.
Just very good looking.
Yeah. Not like a grey worm grey.
No, not a grey one.
Because grey worm's white worm.
Yeah, he is. So, yeah, look, we've gone through and we've highlighted what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's say 6 or 7 things where we're like, yeah, this is a winning chance. And I think that's reflective of the market.
$6 the field.
How do you feel about this Caulfield Cup in comparison to the last, 4 or 5 editions, just off the top of your head?
Last year, terrible. Year before that was at Centervise.
Yeah.
That was, he was the standout as well. Very elegant before that.
Beating Anthony Van Dyke.
I feel like there's a better field than that. I don't know. What do you
Across the
reckon?
board, I think there's probably more quality consistently through the field.
More depth.
Yeah, I think so.
So obviously VE and Anthony Van Dyke were like the clear highlights, but then it dropped away quite significantly after that. It's kind of like the Everest.
Yeah.
So it's like, it was a far more even field, but what a spectacle it landed up being.
100%. And plus, I love the international flavour. Clearly, there's a lot of horses here that originated from the Northern Hemisphere or from, from outside Australia that are now Australian horses like your Gold Trip, Soulcombe, so on and so forth. Got some Japanese action in there, bit of Irish action, bit of British action, mate. It's good to see.
$100 strategies. Now, I would be disingenuous if I was to go against any other horse in this race because I've responsibly done some sensational shopping drifters, and all you need to do is see our Instagram and TikTok feed to kind of view that. And got one comment on the TikTok from @user39 for blah, blah, blah.
Gotcha.
And he was like, tips, not slips. I'm like, obviously doesn't listen.
Tips, not slips.
I've been pumping up this horse.
That's the thing. Like,
months.
He wouldn't listen.
Yeah.
Just, what do people get out of that?
I remember tipping Redina, and I remember tipping Without a Fight at the prices that I got on the ticket. It's up to you to put them on. I can't put them on for you.
Man, 100%. Like, fuck you to whoever made that comment. Get over yourself. Actually, speaking of heroes on social media, our guy Dan O'Sullivan, who he's our guy, who's like the ratings expert on
Cousin Dan.
on Twitter. Yeah. So he put up a post showing some really interesting statistics around Amelia's Jewel.
Yes.
And like her ratings prior to the Toorak in comparison to other horses in there. And one of the comments was like a post-race hero, basically having a go at him. And Dan O'Sullivan just wrote back like a 2-paragraph thing, not telling old mate to piss off, just being like, no, this is all commentary that's like readily available to anyone. Like, this is all information and data and statistics from prior to the race. Like, he's like, I've been quoted many a time saying that she's clearly a very good horse with incredible potential, but the ratings don't match up with the hype. Like, he has said that before. So he just absolutely schooled this guy. And I'm just like, where do these people get off? Like,
They just
heroes on social media.
they feed off it, mate.
Oh,
They feed
bizarre.
off it. But hey, it's water off a duck's back for me. You know what made me more nervous was there was 2 separate comments, and I think they were just rolling me up, making me nervous. Was apparently Without a Fight has a virus.
Oh, you're kidding.
I was like, oh, no. I just want to run for my money. Oh, how's this, right? So I've shared, obviously I posted that, and I shared with Prue like what my potential collect, which I sent through to you, right? And she's like, what if it doesn't run on the weekend? I'm like, why would you say that?
Why would you say something like that? God.
What are you doing? I don't need that.
I don't need that. I am speechless at that. Gee whiz, like, we need some good juju.
I know.
Where are we going to get it from?
I know.
Where are we going to get it from? Without seeing the prices, drifters, it's hard for me to do my $100 strategy because I want to, spread the field a little bit. My on-top selection is going to be Solcombe. The other ones I want to include in my betting strategy are without a fight, clearly. Who your Mal and Valiant King. I just need to establish what that strategy is going to look like. But Solcombe will be my main bet in the race. I'm assuming I'll probably have something like $40 to $50 on him because he'll be, $5 maybe a little bit shorter after the barrier draw. And then for me, numbers in no particular order. Yeah, without a fight, Valiant King and Who your Mal. I'll probably take a close look at West Wind Blows as well. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those races. But Solcombe will be on toppy.
All right, let's get through the rest of the undercard because that took forever. Now, we'll stay at Caulfield and we'll go to race 2, the Caulfield Classic. Now, if you're listening post the Riff Rocket demolition on our review podcast, this is the race that we said he would be heading to next. And he's lobbed up. And he's scared a lot of the field away because he's $1.45 favourite. Do you think it's just that straightforward, that simple?
Nothing's ever that straightforward in horse racing, mate. But he'll win this race. And again, and I'll come back to the point of consumption tax. Like, yeah, he would have been red odds in this race, but 2 or 3 years ago with the exact same form line. But $1.45, mate.
It's sharp, isn't it?
Like, that's almost unbackable for your average punter who might responsibly play with $100 or $200 on a Saturday and they're just happy using that and they're not punting again until the next Saturday like that. What are you doing with that? You're multing it up and then you're basically multiplying and amplifying your risk.
Shouldering arms, which the bookies don't want because they want increased turnover.
But anyway, if he wins this and if it's another demolition job. Gee whiz, the Derby's in his sights.
He'll start $2 favourite, which, the last favourite I can remember being at that price was probably something like a Young Werther. Yeah, he started about $2 to $3.
He was pretty short, wasn't he? I was on him that day. Like a loser.
Look, Riff Rocket, $1.40 sure. I'm not going to come on my podcast and tip $1.40 pop. No way.
No.
Number 4, Gold Bullion. Now, this horse at Flemington, 1,800 metre Derby trial, you only saw the best of this horse late. This horse will run out the 2,000 metres easy. Waterhouse Bot, it will give Riff Rocket a horse to chase in the straight, but Barrier 3 will go forward. Small field, Riff Rocket will probably get out, but he is drawn Barrier 1, so he might be stuck on the fence in a tactical affair.
Potentially, and you're dead right. He's a good-looking horse, Gold Bullion. He's a Savabeel. He gives me I wish I win type vibes. That really sort of dark brown. Yeah, exactly right. I nailed it. I thought if you're trying to get the $1.45 thing beat, I'd be with him.
Absolutely. The Ethereal race 3. So 2,000 metres Group 3 for the fillies, basically the Caulfield Classic, but for the fillies, you know what I mean. Tropical Squall is $1.90 after winning the Flight Stakes. Now, Waterhouse Bot have been adamant that this horse is their Oaks filly for a very long time. Out of Prized Icon, which you love to see. Do you think she goes out from Barrier 12 and just wins this?
Happy to take her on.
Yeah.
Happy to take her on at
agree.
$1.90 with the good people in Neds. Like, that Flight Stakes for me was pretty gross.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's... Like Sydney form, coming down to Melbourne, you'd typically suggest that's strong form, but I don't think that Flight Stakes was particularly strong. So I'm happy to take her on. She'll roll forward. As it stands right now, I'm probably tossing up between the next two in the market, number 4 and number 5. That's Autumn Angel and Conasana, respectively. I'll highlight Autumn Angel first. So she's got Griff form, which we've just seen is good form. Around the boys... And what I love about her is that she's stepping up to the 2,000 metres. She's by the Autumn Sun, so we know that she's going to relish that. And she's looked like a horse that would, stepping up 2,000 metres, she'd appreciate it. And plus, we love a filly who's gone up against the boys and coming back to her own sex. So she's probably going to be my play in the race. She's $4.50 with the good people at Ned's. I did also like the look of Conasana. She's got form around Harlow Mist, who won on that Sunday, the same day that Miramasa won. Harlow Mist actually ran today, stepping back in distance, bit of a freshen up heading towards the Oaks. She won the Oaks Prelude and she ran third, I think, today. Ran really well considering it was stepping back in distance. I don't know why she's not racing in this, but anyway. So that's pretty good form. So they're the two, but Autumn Angel on top for me.
Yeah, okay. Autumn Sun's the one. Autumn Sun.
If he was in this race, it'd be $1.
Yeah, Autumn Angel. I apologise. Barrier 3 can sit closer in here and go forward, I believe. Billy Egan, who's just shooting the lights out at the moment as well.
He really is, yeah.
So I think I loved, as you touched on, that fillies that race against the boys, the first one home, we see it happen so often that they race really, really nicely. The one that comes to mind is Polisipan in the Stradbroke, first home, then goes out and wins the Tiara a few weeks later. There is a good one here at double figures, though. Number 8, Wings of Song for Ben Mellum, who's in winning form as well. This is the horse that looked like it was going to run over Conasana, your second pick there. Last started the Valley, just ran out of room, but steps up to 2,000 metres here. That was her second run at the mile. I think the step up to 2,000 is exactly what this horse is looking for. Do you know anything about her sire there?
No, I do not.
Yeah, because how would you even... Mendelssohn?
Mendelssohn?
Mendelssohn.
I don't know.
Anyway, Wings of Song at $12. Chuck it into your Ned's Same Race Multis.
Cherry Tortoni, Silks.
Yeah, well, Paddy Payne. Makes sense, right?
It does make sense.
The Gothic States is a race for 1,200 metres, listed race with 3-year-old set weights and penalties. I found this incredibly difficult. I landed on Don Corleone.
Yeah, I found it pretty tough as well. Don't particularly like backing things out of the stable, but 3-year-old filly, number 8 for Seal. She's got learning to fly form from a 2-year-old season. Ran second to her, challenged her in the Riesling Stakes over 1,200 metres. Resumed in Sydney rather, Warwick Farm over 1,100 metres, and she was fantastic. So I think she'll run a big race here. She's $3.40 with the good people at Ned's, but not a lot of confidence. There's another filly down the bottom in the Charmstone Silks. Fantastic name. Gumdrops by Written Tycoon out of Sugar Bella. It's a good name, Gumdrops. Massive price, but she looked professional in her maiden in Ballarat. So if you want one at a big price, Jay Carr, we hope she has a good weekend. 34s with the good people, and there's Gumdrops.
Yeah.
Sit behind the speed.
Be too good.
Could be.
I wonder if the victim... I'm fascinated to see who the victim has on top in that race.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. All right. The 1,000 Guineas Prelude. Now, there's a couple of mine going around here who were in the finish at the Valley last start, but my God, Coeur Volant has drawn barrier 17, which cannot possibly help her chances. But... Is she just better?
She could just be better, mate.
She did that first up, mate.
She did that first up, and us, like, you're getting $5.50 with her here,
Yeah.
so she's worth a spec. Yeah, clearly hardest to beat for mine. Again, I'm coming back to Jay Carr though. I'm looking at the Dallasan Silks, number 12, lovely looking.
Oh, you got Mafia for
I've gone Mafia form, mate, because she brained him. And look, say what you like about Adelaide form, it's fucking shit. But sometimes when they get a good one over there and they bring them across to Melbourne,
Victoria Key.
Victoria Key is a great example. They're here to run well. So lovely looking. She looks like she's a smart filly. Out of American Pharaoh, same sire as Riff Rocket, 1,400 metres. If she's spanking things over this and shorter, she's just going to get better and better.
If Coeur Volant comes out and wins this from 17, you could just give her the 1,000 guineas now. I think she's still around that $6 to $8 in those markets. So it could even be if she runs a striking third or second here or fourth, she could even just like still shorten in those markets. I think from the draw and the price, I'll probably take Bossy Nick again. But Curvalant is my 1,000 guineas horse for sure. Now, the Caulfield Sprint, I'm fascinated to hear what you have to say here. 1,000 metres Group 2 handicap. Lofty Strike at $3 resuming. The likes of Midwest Generation, Indian Pacific, General Bow, Duel, and Spacewalk.
Geez, I like Lofty Strike as a horse, but I don't know if I like him here.
No.
1,000 metres, like he's won over 1,100 metres, but I think he's a 1,200 metre horse. Handicap, resuming, I might have to take him on with Spacewalk.
Mate, that's a smart play by you.
He was brilliant resuming.
So you're tipping Jamie Carr to ride the card here.
I very well could be. Bounce back. The other horse who I backed last start, it was pretty disappointing running third, was Duel. But he lugged a massive weight there. He comes back in distance and he's got Mickey D on board on a double figure horse.
Yeah.
Like, I expect him to run well as well.
Yeah.
I think Spacewalk on top, but it's probably not a betting race for me.
Oh, this is one of my best bets of the day.
There you go.
I have that much clarity with this horse, Spacewalk. Barrier 6 can just stalk him, and Jamie Carr can go bang because his first up win, albeit in midweight grade, that was a pretty strong race. Coal Crusher he beat back to third, who's that type of benchmark of horse, but he ran fourth in the Sydney Stakes on the weekend. Like that's good enough form for me to kind of like have a look at here. I'm big on Spacewalk this weekend. I think he's really well placed, and I'm keen to take on Lofty Strike. And if he wins, so be it. The next race on the program is the Tristark Stakes, 1,400 metres Group 2 for the mares, set weights, penalties. I found this an awfully tough race as well.
Yeah, this is a bit harder, but for me, it's between two ponies, and that's number 2, Skew If, and number 8, Siesta Magique. Skew If was our on top selection last start before it was scratched at the gates. She plays up this horse, but again, Opie Bosson, like he's not going to fly over again for one ride if he doesn't think that this pony's got some ability. So yeah, $5 with the good people in there. She'll be on my top selection. CS Magique, 1,400 metres.
Yeah,
Do you reckon she's looking for it?
potentially. I said
Need
it.
to see it?
I said it on the review podcast. I need to see her win again because she's won once.
Yeah,
Once in 6 starts, and she's has a 67% play strike rate, but I don't know. Like, I think she's one of those ones that because she ran so close to In Secret that the market has kind of overreacted. I need to see her. She's not a betting proposition for me anymore until she gets it done. Mate, the horse who gets on with a specific jockey here.
Madame Pomeroy.
Yeah, but not my pick.
Last time he rode this horse, she won the 1,000 guineas.
Yeah,
so it's a long time between drinks.
Seawaller, Madame Pomeroy. Yeah, she was scratched from a race at Randwick on Saturday. So, Silver Eagle, I believe. So yeah, she could feature, but I think given the hard track, I want to let her go around. No, the one for me, Revolutionary Miss. I saw enough in the Navision on a really tough on pace race with Magic Time winning that. 1,400 metres is a tick for this horse. Mark Zara gets on with this girl. I think she's a bit hard to ride. And Daddy Mark just goes like, hey,
strong hands.
Hey, Dal, listen here. The Moonga Stakes, Group 3, 1400 metres.
Moonga.
What?
Is it Mwanga? Or was it just the Moonga Stakes?
It's the Moonga Stakes.
Is it literally just called the Moonga Stakes? What is Moonga?
I don't know. I'm assuming it's a horse.
I assumed it was one of those ones where it was like named after Mwanga because they're trying to, hand out a free bloody,
No, because
free service.
Moanga is spelled with a U.
Oh, he's going to be you.
It's not often I get one over you in the English stakes.
No.
So,
But here we are.
yeah, the Moonga is, I'm sure, like a horse in history or something.
There you go.
All right. Group 3, 4-year-olds and up, set weights, penalties. Now, your boy Buffalo River goes around. Again.
On the quick backup. Yeah, look, happy to take him on. Look, none thought would have been my selection in that race that Wishall Lass won last week.
Did you see why she got scratched?
No idea.
Yeah, no idea either.
No idea. Draws the wide escape, but a pretty small field, and she'll roll across. Blake Shin on. She's in fantastic form. I'll happily play into her again. Like, give me a reason not to after she's been so kind to me this prep. You know what I mean?
I have a reason.
Okay.
And it's Big Buff.
Big Buffalo River.
Yeah, I think he's gonna upset.
He's gonna be a fly in the ointment.
Yeah, and I think her 2 wins this prep have just been given to her on a platter. She's been the only leader, and Jamie Carr, who has been riding her, has been just given an absolute picnic up in front. But mate, if the one I like is Altivo, but he's most likely going to head to Sydney. So if he's here, clear bet for me, clear on top selection, but I just don't think it's going to fall that way because he's in a big race down there. Times Square for me. Ma Eustace, Carleen Heffel on board. Now, this horse's form does not look great. I'll tell you that for free. But it was international coming to Australia for its first prep in the autumn. Probably just didn't come up. Its trials have looked a lot better. So I think first up here, it can run a little bit of a race at a bit of a price, $8. So a bit shorter than what you'd probably expect for a horse with that form domestically so far. Now, race 10 is the Alinghi Stakes, 1,100 metres listed for the fillies and mares, set weights penalties again. I thought this was tough, but I think the favourite's going to be awfully hard to beat here, Vivienne.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a beat, and I'm looking through the field, and the only one that I could entertain is Garnardi down the bottom. But she's building such a picket fence, and she brings the best form into this race. So for me, I'm happy to stick with Vivienne. Maybe she needs to be the get out stakes horse. We'll see. We'll see what the victim has to say.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Only 3 races to look at Sydney. So this is the big revamped program, and I think they've got some work to do because there's a lot of benchmarks 78s in this in this card. So, and you can't have the good horses run around every single week, but the Source is going to have a tough weekend this weekend, Drifters. I'm going to tell you that for free.
Certainly is.
All right. Race 7 is the Falante Stakes, if that's how you pronounce it. The handicap, 1,600 metres. Now, Cepheus broke a track record last start at Randwick, I believe. Or was it Rose Hill? Yeah, it was at Rose Hill, 1,400 metres in the Alan Brown. He did that with the top weight of 59 kilos. Had Nash on board, though. Nash is in Melbourne this weekend. But he's carrying 61 now, and the bottom weights have 52 kilos. So he's going to be... You're getting $3.30 for a reason, but I think he's clearly the best horse in this race.
Yeah, he is. He is. I've got to try and get him beat again, though, because I was on him for bloody... all those starts before he got a first. See the second, the third, the fourth, and the second. I was on him every single one of them. So I've got to keep getting him beat, Drifters. And a pony that I'm pretty sure the Source tipped last start was number 11, Unspoken.
Twice this prep.
Twice this prep. Does he make it 3? Oh, he's got every chance in this race, I would have thought.
9 kilo weight advantage.
You would have thought so.
Yeah, I was looking at the two of them. Oh, mate, like, sure, like Unspoken, I think probably would have got beaten by Altivo if that horse gets out earlier. I just think Cepheus, mate, he's in career best. So I'm probably going to side with Cepheus, but yeah, the weight, it's probably not a big betting race just because of the setup of the race for me. But yeah, Unspoken, as you said, it's a good chance.
Yeah.
Now, the 5 Diamonds Prelude, 1,500 metres, set weights, penalties. Now, this is the type of racing that Sydney is putting up this weekend. It's $4.60 the field, and you have the likes of Democracy Manifest, your favourite, who was pretty damn good in the Epsom. Now, is he your starting and your ending point here?
Oh, mate, this is me looking at this race.
Throwing darts.
Oh, with my eyes closed.
Yeah.
And somehow throwing a dart with my hands tied behind my back as well.
Yeah.
It can't be a betting race for me. Like, I was on Waterford last start in that Cepheus race. I can't keep backing him. I can't keep falling into him. Democracy Manifest, big fan of the horse. Yes, he ran super in the Epsom, but he's also carrying 51.5 kilos, you know? His start before in Newcastle, he was carrying 54 kilos, and he puts on some weight here, but this is obviously so much easier than the Epsom.
And the weight compression here, he's only giving 1.5 kilos to the bottom weight.
So for me, like, yeah, like he is my selection in this race, but not with a lot of confidence, mate. You know?
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
All right. This is my query for me. If Altivo's in Melbourne, I'm backing him there. If he's in Sydney, I'm backing him there and I hope he's in Sydney because he's $9 with Neds at the moment. Barrier 11. So I think that is important, although it hasn't helped him last start because he was the $2.30 favourite there and he still was unlucky. But Zach Lloyd, to just get this horse into free air and let him go through his gears, because I think he's quite talented. I think he's pretty good, and his strike rate would suggest something like that. So Altivo on top for me if he heads there. If not, Democracy Manifest, succulent Chinese meals all round.
Yeah, 100%. If you want to spec one at Odds Drifters, number 10, St. Lawrence. He was putting together a bit of a picket fence earlier this year. Really big spaces between his runs. Interesting. I reckon he'll get it just about the run of the race as well, St. Lawrence. Sammy Clipperton, still hungover from the weekend in the Everest. Yeah.
Good to see. All right, the last race that we'll preview is the Big Dance Wild Card, 1,600 metres for the 3-year-olds and up handicap. Now, I thought this was extremely difficult. And I started going through because one of the key form, I'll give you a peek behind the curtain here, Drifters. One of the form stats that I look at when I'm really trying to cull a few is have a look at what they've done over the last 12 months. And if they've had, more than 5 starts and there's 3 duck eggs next to those stats, I'll put a line through them basically straight away. Now, I was looking through this field and there's not that many consistent winning horses in this field. The one that I came to in the end was with a great friend of ours, Joe Pride, with Reece Jones in the saddle. Cousin Reece. King of the Castle.
For our good friend Joe.
Yes, King of the Castle, number 10. Barrier 1 is important for this horse. I think Reece, if he has a bit of intent, can kick him up. And over the 1,600 here is far better suited than he was in the 1,300, where he had a 9-week let up, but he was running around horses like Bold Mac, Stonecoat, those types in the winter. So I think this horse second up at $11 can feature with 52.5, drops 10.5 kilos from last start, which I think is also important.
Oh,
Random number generator. Let's get that up.
Pretty much. Steely was good up in Brisbane last start, but I'm going to go with number 12, Journalism, out of the Waterhouse and Bott stable. Now, this guy was pretty good resuming, I thought, over 1,400 metres. He's got a pretty decent record over this distance, the mile. Like, the stable's flying, so and he draws well, and he'll be up thereabouts, in the first third. So, lightly weighted. He's my pony, but zero confidence. I would have assumed you would have put Arameo on top.
How dare you?
Nothing more needs to be said.
How dare you? Last win, 157 weeks. That's all you need to see. If Kotaheli, if that horse gets a run, first emergency, it'll go awfully close. Nearly ran down Cepheus in track record time last start. Random number generator picked up Hail Manhattan. So
Hail Manhattan. Okay.
So we'll chuck that in our quaddie.
Yep, have to.
Not the worst.
No. Brisbane form?
Yeah. So
Play on.
Well, barrier 7, I'm happy with, without a fight.
Oh, yeah, mate. Fantastic. He's a winning chance.
Yeah.
Nothing more needs to be said. For your sake, I hope he wins, because I don't have as much riding on this race as you do.
But the thing is like the way I've shot the race, my outlay hasn't been that big.
No, that's why we call it terrific shopping. Yeah, tips not slips, mate. Honestly, like that. I don't get pissed off very easily, but that sort of shit grinds my gears. It's like, wake up to yourself, champion. Don't you have bigger fish to fry? Have you been outside recently? Have you seen the sunshine? Have you basked in its glory, bouncing off your forehead?
I reckon if he'd just done a little bit of research, one or two posts prior to that, he would have seen me put up equivalent for the 1,000 guineas at like $10. I think Redina in the Golden Eagle and another one which I can't think of, but it is what it is.
Hey, haters gonna hate. There's always everyone's gonna have your haters. Let's shout out to them.
Yeah, send through your slips.
Yeah. If you're so good at punting, why don't you start your own podcast, champion, and post all your tips for people to follow? Honestly,
he's angry.
Oh, it's just one of the few things, like social media heroes, that just really grinds my gears.
Social media victims.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, we'll see you Sunday. See yous.